If you're planning on getting a Bachelor of Science in Supply Chain and Operations Management from WGU, stick with me. I've got some shortcuts to get you that degree faster and for so much less. Hi, my name is Jobi and I'm a college advisor with Study.com. Today, we're going to look at WGU's BS in Supply Chain and Operations Management degree. I've got the full degree plan that I'll break down for you course by course and show you how to hack in some time-saving strategies. And stick around to the end and I'll break down how to save over $9,000 on this degree. This is a great degree if you're interested in a career in supply chain and operations management. Working as an operations manager, purchasing officer, or production manager are just a few of the jobs you could pursue. Ready to jump in? Let's go. You can see that I've grouped these courses by the course type. We split them into categories like Gen Eds, Business, Business Management, and more to help you know which courses count for each part of the program requirements. You also see quite a few Study.com courses listed next to WGU's. Over 200 Study.com courses are approved for college credit transfer. The courses listed in this map have been approved by WGU for these specific requirements. But these aren't the only ones that you can use. The degree map linked in the description has alternatives if there's any others to choose from. I'll explain why I put each one in its slot as we go. If you're overwhelmed by all of this info at once, you're not alone, but it's going to be okay. This is your one-stop shop for this degree. So feel free to pause the video, open the degree plan link in the description below, save a copy, and edit your own version as we go through each requirement. That way, you'll be able to save your preferred course options and know that they'll work for you. And if you're not able to now, make sure to make a note for later. Your future self will thank you. Less stress, more organization. Now, let's dive in. Let's start with your Gen Ed courses. The first line is for English composition. This requirement has two Study.com course options. You can take English 104 or 204, whichever course you prefer. I suggest English 104 for this degree because most students I've spoken with prefer it as a slightly easier version. That said, I'd encourage you to check both courses and their written assignments out for yourself. Next is Global Arts and Humanities. You have a bunch of courses to choose from here. I put Art 103 here because I thought it would be a nice opportunity to take a break from all the business courses and learn about something you might find interesting, like the history of Western art. You could use it as a bit of a palate refresher. But if you would prefer to take another English course or even study philosophy, you have plenty of other options to check out. Moving down, we have a U.S. history course. Study.com has a few classes that satisfy this requirement. I thought it was good to start at the beginning, so I put History 103 here. This course will take you from the settling of North America all the way to Reconstruction. But if you've already learned about that time period and prefer to start with Reconstruction and go to present day, you can try History 104. History 105 is also an option here, but it's a long one and has 3 extra assignments. I wouldn't recommend it for this degree unless you're a serious history buff. On the next line, we have critical thinking. Humanities 201. Critical thinking and analysis is the Study.com equivalent. It has 3 assignments and less than 100 lesson quizzes. You should be able to move through this one quickly, especially if you have any familiarity with the topics covered, like types of arguments and critical analysis methods. Introduction to Sociology is up next. Study.com's Sociology 101 has you covered here. This one has 129 lessons. I know that might seem like a lot, but rest assured that these are bite-sized lessons with short quizzes. It's not as daunting as you might think. Next up, we have Introduction to Communications. Study.com has Communications 101 that'll work for this. This is a great course to move through quickly. It has relatively easy to handle projects and just over 100 lesson quizzes to complete. Business 324, which is managerial communication, is also an option here. So if that sounds interesting and you don't mind a bit more work, then look into that one. The next line is Integrated Physical Sciences. Study.com has a bunch of equivalent courses you can choose from for this one. So if you have a favorite science subject or topic, I'd usually suggest picking a course closest to that. Quick note though, some biology and chemistry courses on study.com also have virtual labs to complete along with the course itself. I put Earth Science 101 here because it doesn't have a lab or any extra assignments. It's a long course though with 168 lessons. With longer courses, I highly suggest taking placement tests whenever possible. These are risk-free. Just answer what you know and be honest when you don't. That way you won't accidentally test out of material you need to know based on guesses, but you'll move past what you've already learned. It's a win-win. Moving down, we have Applied Algebra. You have a few options to choose from here, but I recommend Study.com's Math 101. This is the easiest option, especially if you aren't very confident in math or want a course that you could move through quickly. But if you excel at math, check out Math 103, 104, or 105. These options are a bit more advanced and give you a backbone in basic calculus to boot. Design Thinking for Business is a course you'll take with WGU. Sometimes there isn't a course equivalent with coursework, or WGU wants you to take some specific topics with them. Continuing on, we come to Applied Probability and Statistics. You can take Statistics 101 to fulfill this requirement. Okay, one tip for taking Statistics 101 on study.com. You'll be able to use several stats tables in the final exam. There's a z-scores and standard normal curve areas 1, a t-distribution table, and one on binomial properties. You can print all of these out and use them on the final exam. So don't worry too much about memorizing huge sets of data. Instead, focus on which equations and formulas apply for which problems. This will be critical on that test. And your last Gen Ed course is Health, Fitness, and Wellness. For this one, I recommend Study.com's Health 101, but Nutrition 101 is also an option. Health 101 doesn't go into as much detail of anatomy as Nutrition 101 does, so you might find it a bit easier. And that's the end of your Gen Eds. One section down. Nice work. Okay, business management is the next section. First up, we have project management. The study.com equivalent is Business 311. This is where you'll dive into the ins and outs of project planning, learning how to kick things off, map out a solid plan, and see it through to success. It's all about mastering the skills to manage projects like a pro. The next two courses in this section have no study.com equivalent, so you'll take them with WGU. These are change management and values-based leadership. For organizational behavior, I like the course by the same name. That's Business 107. If you're looking for leadership roles, check out leadership and organizational behavior with Business 307. Have an interest in psychology? Industrial organizational psychology might be up your alley, and you can look into Psychology 301. Both of these other options are slightly more work with additional assignments, but are well worth the time if they have what you're looking for. Business ethics is the final requirement for this section, and you'll take it with WGU. Okay, check-in time. How are we doing? We only have a couple more course sections to go through, so hang on. We're getting to the good part. The next section is business. You've got 10 courses here, and you'll take them all with WGU. A few of the topics include managing operations, transportation, logistics and distribution, exploring data, and global supply chain management. You'll also do a solutions design and visualization capstone to complete this section. This is your chance to put everything you've learned into action. You'll tackle real-world challenges in procurement, logistics, and so much more. By the end, you'll have an impressive project to showcase in your portfolio. Perfect for impressing future employers. All right, we've reached the final section, Business Core. There are 10 requirements here, and you'll be able to take all except 2 with study.com. On the first line, you can see fundamentals of spreadsheets and data presentations. There's no study.com equivalent, so you'll take this at WGU. Then there's finance skills for managers. You have 3 options here to pick from. If you're already running the family budget or otherwise know your way around finances, consider 104 or 301. But if you haven't had that experience just yet, 101 is a great introduction. The next course is a fun one. For managing in a global business environment, the Study.com's Business 120 is just over 120 lessons with no projects, and it's a great introduction to thinking about business on a global scale. If you have experience with foreign markets in trade, currency exchange, or similar topics, you're ahead of the game here. Business 308 is another option for this one, but it does have 2 extra assignments, so it'll take you a bit longer to work through. Next up is Emotional and Cultural Intelligence. Here, you can take Study.com's COM 301. It's another pretty short course with just over 100 quizzes, 1 written project, and the final. That said, this is a longer project with some personal elements to it. You'll be asked to reflect on your own culture, maybe your core values, religion, or gender, and think about it in the context of communication. It's pretty different from other courses in this degree. Moving down, we come to the principles of financial and managerial accounting. You'll need to take 2 Study.com courses to fulfill this requirement. First, you can take Accounting 101. This is a basic intro to accounting course, so I recommend it if you don't have much experience. But Accounting 201, 202, and 302 are also options if you're just getting started. In addition to one of those courses, you'll need to take Accounting 102, 301, or 303. Again, I'd go with 102 if you don't have much prior knowledge, but feel free to check out the upper level options if you feel confident about accounting. Whichever you choose, start out with the placement test to trim down the lessons you'll need to complete. Next is the business simulation course at WGU. This course ties together what you've learned in your other business courses and makes the theoretical more practical. On the next line is Principles of Management. Study.com has you covered with Business 101. This is a longer course with 147 quizzes, but you've probably run across at least some of this information before in other classes or personal experiences. Quick tip. This is another great time to start off with a placement test and bypass what you already know. Now we've come to business environment applications. You'll take Business 103, which focuses on employment law. No assignments to worry about here, but this does dig into legal issues and rights related to the U.S. employment and legal systems. Don't let that scare you. You can handle it. Just take it 1 chapter at a time. The next requirement is Fundamentals for Success in Business. The Study.com equivalent is Business 100, which is going to give you an overview of the basics of business. I recommend you take this course to make sure you know all of the essentials of business. But Business 121 is another option if you already have some experience and are interested in learning about entrepreneurship. Principles of Economics is the final business core class, and Study.com's Economics 101 is a great starting point to learn about microeconomics. You can also zoom out a little bit with macroeconomics and take Economics 102. They're about the same length and are great to start off with a placement test. Woo! There you go. I know that was a lot to go through, but now you know how to earn a bachelor's degree in supply chain and operations management from Western Governors University with Study.com. You can earn a total of 61 credits on Study.com for this degree. That's across 21 classes. Remember to budget your time and use the tips I described for each course. On Study.com, you can do 2 courses each month for $235. That's it. For a little more, you can also do more courses. So if you really want to speed through, it's worth it to pay more. But if you just do 2 a month, these 21 classes will take just under a year, 11 months. That's $2,585 you'd pay to Study.com. At WGU, at the same pace, you'd have to pay for 3 semesters. You can't go month to month. So that costs $11,865. So even if you don't go faster than the 2 courses per month, you're saving $9,271. You could buy a used car with that kind of money. Remember, you can go faster. It's only $70 on Study.com to take an extra exam each month. If you can do 3 or even 4 courses each month, you'll end up saving another $500 or $600. If you can do that, great. But I think 2 courses per month is a more manageable pace for most students I work with. If you're considering supply chain and operations management as a career field, this degree is a fantastic pathway towards your goals and dreams. With WGU and Study.com's affordable pricing and flexible course schedules, this is by far one of the fastest and least expensive ways to earn a bachelor's degree in supply chain and operations management from a reputable university. Just remember to grab transcripts of any prior college experience and fill in the rest with study.com and WGU courses. WGU advisors are happy to help plot your degree map, and there's also study.com advisors standing by to help you pick out courses specific to your interests and career goals. So reach out whenever you need help and make a plan to get started as soon as you can, because that's one day closer to your goals and where you want to be. Thanks for watching. And if you're not 100% sure about supply chain and operations management or WGU, check out the other videos on this channel for other ideas. Like this video and subscribe to this channel for even more great degree hacks. We've got you covered. And again, study.com advisors are here to help.